Hey, it's Joe Glines from Automator. Another episode of what we automated this week with AutoHotkey. And switch to my desktop. Use Prompt Assistant to run recently modified files. This is going to kick off our DPI changer. So my DPI just changed. I saw that. It turns on Do Not Disturb mode. I need to make a change to that. But here's my webcam reminder, which I need to... This just helps me remember that... you guys can't see there, and I moved my webcam. My webcam's normally up here, and apparently it's a little smaller than normal. But there we go. We'll move this guy down here. So this is files we've worked on in the last week. 265 files. That's a bit much. We've been doing a lot of finishing up on our one of our clients' projects, so I think a lot of these are just going to be for the client. At some point we'll go through how we had some really good learnings working with them, because they have a very complicated licensing object, and we're merging in different language versions into one version, which we also it's the demo as well as the product we sell. So very cool approaches. Lots of really good learnings there. One which I think we recorded a separate video on it, but we realized InnoSetup had an issue with Dropbox. When you go to create an InnoSetup, Dropbox locks the file, and InnoSetup doesn't actually finish what it's doing right away, and then it can't access the file. So we had to find a way, it was a really cool way, to pause and suspend Dropbox temporarily. So that's check out that video if you're interested. All right, we're gonna keep going here. This is all, ooh, boy, yeah, like I said, crazy amount, everything. There we go. Finally, now we got our other client. And then it looks like I'm the only one doing anything. Let's see. Izzy Man. Okay. I think this was just me testing my new AutoHotkey script. So if you use VS Code or Cursor, I'm going to open up Cursor here. And actually, let me do this. Let me say Control N. Now, we did update it even more. Okay, I forgot. I'm glad I showed this. So here's the file name. So we'll say... just to test, I can give it .hk or not, it'll trim that out. This is going to be the template which we have available. Now you might want to change this on each script so it's here, but this will be what's in there, and I hit OK, and it will pop it open. If Cursor was active, it'll pop it open in Cursor, right? So if you're using Cursor or VS Code, you know what a pain in the butt it is to create a new quote-unquote AutoHotkey script. So again, I just hit Control N. This is the text that will show up in it, which you can live change but have a template saved somewhere. I think this is saved in any file, so you can just edit it there. It's not actually in the program, but I'm not sure if we've made it down to that yet, but I think it's really cool because, boy, I used to waste a lot of time. Also, this is really cool. If I put a message box here, yeah, and then save it and run, my hotkey to run is not working right in Cursor. Let me bring over my taskbar here. Now, this trash can, see this red trash can? That is, so I set it here. And also, if I go to this thing and right click, you'll see there's an open folder, which is very convenient depending on what you're doing, right? So sometimes you want to get to that folder. So that's why I have these in here. It makes it really easy for me to get to that folder. So this to me is a bunch of code to have in my default, but this gets deleted when we go to share this, or when I'm even done editing it and working on it and developing it. This is my template just for when I'm developing, and then I will go change it. Usually, I'd like to have a certain icon, so I'll still have an icon, but maybe not the trash icon, right? But yeah, it's really cool to be able to have that as part of your template, so it's not another green H like these other ones. So these are just temporary ones that I run during we're making this video. But as you notice, I have a lot of things running. The vast majority are AutoHotkey scripts that do different things, and they all have different icons, so I can track them down. So, translate and subtitle. This one we're working on making it something we can sell. It's really cool. Let me launch it here. Oh, that's interesting. That's new. Oh, because I'm launching it. Never mind. Because I'm not launching it from the main. So we added this to this tool, so I can say open folder. And I wasn't in C Studio, would automatically detect that you're in the wrong thing, right? So I want to get up to here and translate and subtitle. So what we did was we we changed the default to be yellow. Again, you can have, this only has like, what's that, 6-ish languages, but we have about 30. I just have them commented out in the code. But you can, we also added this pause to review. So you drag in a video. Actually, now we can drag in a video. Let me see if I got a video. I'll pick a short one. So now I should be able to drag this up there. Instead of before I had to hit browse, and even if you pasted the path here, it wouldn't work. So now that's there. If I hit pause to review, after it goes and transcribes, you can review the transcriptions before you burn it in. I'm going to create subtitles. I'll just say English because this is cool. You can actually just add subtitles. And we want them, I put the default to yellow because it usually stands out. And I'm not going to do the pause review, but we will burn them into the video, create subtitles. So right now, it's ripping that audio from the file, saves it locally, then it pushes it up into Whisper in ChatGPT, which will transcribe the audio file, and then, depending on what language is chosen here, it would translate it, so it would actually take all the transcriptions, translate it. Now, each thing, because of the transcription, it's bound to within a couple seconds. And now it's already apparently generated the video, and I'm going to say yes. Let's see if it opens here.
Hey, show Glines in this video using AutoHotkey to manipulate Excel. I'm going to cover sorting rows. This one was...
Isn't that the coolest thing ever? I think that's really, really cool. So I could take any video I want and add subtitles in other languages, right? Really, I love that. And it's burned in. This is part of the image now. And of course, it doesn't overwrite the original file. It creates a new file. But I could also now, just change it to say I wanted to do it in Spanish. Create subtitles. Now, because it already transcribed it, it shouldn't, see, it already started to translate it. We create a hash of the audio file to know we've already done that one. We don't need to retranscribe it. And now it's just going to translate it. So it's getting the translations. It's going to reburn the video. It uses FFMPEG to reburn the video. And then it's going to come up here in a couple seconds. Apparently, that was really fast. And say, hey, now do you want to watch the new video? So we're waiting for the last couple seconds. I might cut out a couple seconds here if it stays too long. There we go.
Hey, show Glines in this video using AutoHotkey to manipulate Excel. I'm going to cover sorting.
I just think that's amazing. Again, if you notice at the very beginning here, this is where it says, hey, Joe Lyons instead of Glines. That's when, hey, if I really cared, I would have turned this paused review. I could go edit those subtitles and go look for things where maybe it got it wrong, fix it, and that way they're fixed in the actual production thing. So really cool tool that we'll be able to sell here pretty soon. Get active path. I was playing with that because my site install was broken. The COM object was actually wasn't registered, and so I had an idea because we've all a lot of us in the AutoHotkey community, when you install a site, it will sometimes take over your the path for the editing, and I don't know, other than just saying corrupt it, it will mess it up. So I decided not to do it. What I did, I thought an interesting idea. I went to AutoIt because AutoIt has a site version. It's not a site for AutoHotkey, it's a site for AutoIt. And I installed that version because I knew it wouldn't break our version, right? Unfortunately, it still didn't register the COM object for me. So I was bummed about that. I was hoping that would work. I was trying to switch the COM object to the site the site for AutoIt COM. It has a slightly different name. And yeah, unfortunately it didn't work. But I can install it. I just didn't want to break something without having Isaias or Irfan helping me get things back the way they're supposed to be, because it's confusing. It really is. Here's my new HK file that I mentioned. Our FFMPEG class, which we did actually talk through that in the Hero call the other day, and so we'll have a custom video extracted to talk about that. The suspend resume process. This is the one I mentioned that we did to suspend like your Dropbox file, but you can suspend anything. So, it's really cool. Here's the new HK file. Irfan created his own because he wanted to take advantage that he has Get Active Path installed, and he will have an option to create that file locally where his editor is instead of having it in a default folder, which is I did. And the Get Active Path is a pretty complicated advanced script, and depending if you're in VS Code or Cursor, it changes some stuff. And so I didn't want to bring that into the new HK file So we just are making an assumption that he has it, and maybe we could create a second version that says if you have get active path, use this one. Maybe that's what we'll do. I just didn't want to pack it all together. I'm trying to keep those files kind of concise. The search and replace. In the newsletter, I had a couple more ahas that can make it easier for me to do my newsletter every week and to have things looking prettier and easier for me to read where I am. Our Pretty Links Manager. This automated resource tool is cool. And Connie mentioned, he actually mentioned that the download, we had our icon lookup because it's Resource Finder, and this is the automated Resource Finder. Anyway, it hadn't been updated. The subtitles from our videos and our tools hadn't been updated in a while. So Connie happened to mention the issue, but I went back and realized how easy it is for us to update this automated resource finder tool. And that you can pull up. Let me actually see here, because this isn't the tool, but I'm trying to remember where. I don't think we actually changed the default tool, but if I open this folder, I should be able to navigate to it. That's the upload. I need the actual tool. See, I think the actual tool is Resource Finder. There we go. So we didn't make change, because what we did is we stored the data in a JSON file on an FTP server. So anyway, I'm going to launch this. I don't usually have this running. I use a different tool that has different information in it. So it's pulling the new stuff. Now I can search for, let's say, clipboard. And here are everything, V1, V2, executables, YouTube videos, help files, or other on clipboard that we have, right? But I can filter, say, hey, well, what videos mention clipboard, right? Where's the help file mention clipboard? Where is any executables with the clipboard? Where's a V1 script? So you get the idea, right? It does search the automator for our stuff, but it also has the built-in help stuff. So really, really cool tool to find stuff quickly, right? So and now I have it where I can run my script and it goes and repulls all the stuff live, and I'm updating it, every week at the least, because it's built into my tool. So yeah, it's a really cool tool. And this SVG editor, during the hero call, I showed it to people. Let me go ahead and launch it. I think I did a video on this too, and I updated it now. So now when I zoom in and scroll over, this stays. But SVGs are really cool because you can change. So you can change the text, and that is part of your image, right? So really cool. I can change the size of things. I can change colors, and this code is a preview for what it's going to look like. The one thing I didn't finish doing was to be able to say save as like a PNG or a JPEG or a GIF. I got maybe for that one would be great. And it was because Claude I was using to build this tool. I'm already using the WebView2 to render this tool, and then it wanted to use the GDI library to go and save it, and I just ran out of time. It was just a little thing. I got annoyed that in Claude I couldn't preview like this. I could make a change and I had to go to switch back. It was really annoying. So I had Claude make a tool that made it dynamic, and it did. It took me about an hour of playing with Claude and going back and forth. And actually, it took about 20 minutes to get a working version. And then I wanted to add the buttons. I can say new, I can say save, I can open, and this will open any SVG. So it took a while to add some of the extra functionality that I wanted and to keep it zoomed in at the right level. But that's a really cool tool that I think we made the download for, but it was more of a teaching example of like, look, if you're trying to do stuff with AutoHotkey, AI, it's nearly there where you can get it to do almost anything you want. So hope you enjoyed that. Please like the video if you learned something. Really helps us out. Have a great day. Cheers.